Errol Douglas. I'm joined today in the Fellowship Live Lounge by the talented, beautiful, what can I say, Evangeline Barrett. Now, those of you who don't know this girl, I think she's amazing. One of the youngest girls to have a product company, a product range. Your company is there.
Yeah.
Now, tell us your involvement, because I think your fellowship through and through.
Yeah, so I started out with a Club Star membership because of my age, 16 to 25. I then started to approach the calendar around the fellowship, so I started to go to the seminars and after kind of work events, kind of started to network a little bit, build a skill set, and then I entered the Club Star Fame team last year. Wow. And then following that, the Step Up and Shine Scholarship with the Christopher Mann Step Up and Shine Scholarship.
So which I think is quite interesting, it's like you're going to the next, so hopefully one day you're going to be in the Fame team. So one of the people who you was with is now in the Fame team.
Yes, Ellie.
Who's that? Yeah.
Ellie Bond, my buddy.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about, because your journey now, because I know you love shows and you're always involved, you're always kind of, there's a lot of people, I know you do a lot with Debbie G. So tell us about that, Debbie G and Michelle.
Okay, yeah, so basically I decided to make the transition from employed to self-employed to then more freelance self-employed. Yeah. So I do have a fixed abode for 3 days a week where I work behind a chair and do my clients. I also just fill the rest of my time with creative work, as you said, the hair care line, so the business side of things, and working on my own kind of, boost. I definitely touch base with courses, education. Obviously I work with yourself quite frequently. We do a lot of creative work together, which is fantastic. We get to travel and we're always doing something, and I guess it's become a sort of thing where, I'm affiliated with yourself because obviously you've been mentoring me for the last 2 years, so my loyalty kind of lies with yourself, but if people
you're free to do
if people approach, then it's kind of like we'll see what it is and where it's going.
One thing, because we were working on stage yesterday, because we were on the Platinum stage here and the Fellowship stage, and one thing what kind of resonates with me, and I kind of can't believe how young you are. You're 24.
Got a lot of growing to do.
No, I'm just saying, you're 24 and you've done so much already, and you have a child, house, partner.
Yeah.
How do you fit it all in?
Well, I suppose working for me, I've always worked. I first got my job at 13, the scrubbing the floor, taking the bins out, and it has always been in hairdressing. However, I do have a work, I am a career-driven woman, so everything else, my family comes first, but it is always going to be a part of me. Even the fact that recently, especially to do with the hair care line, I'm now approaching the kind of stages where I want to get sales assistants and things like that. I actually applied for a job with the shoe designer Kurt Geiger, so I can learn on the front line what it's like in retail, visual merchandising, rather than just blasing over it. I'm really willing to throw myself out there, put myself in the situation so I can gain the most of it and grow from it organically.
So one last word. And I know a lot of people respect you, and I know a lot of people are following you at the moment on Facebook and Instagram. What would you say to somebody young coming into the fellowship?
I'd say remain yourself, put yourself out there in whatever means that may be. The submissions to and the entries to some of the things that you can really elevate your profile and career are so simple nowadays. 1-minute videos on your iPhones. It's no hardcore photo shoots, expensive, long drawn out submissions. So I would say just go for it. I've had a lot of no's before I've had some yeses, but it's all building your character, it's building your experience. So just believe in yourself, really, and go for it.
Thank you very much. That was the beautiful Evangeline Barrett.
Thank you for having me.
And keep watching her career and keep watching, because we always say this, you see them here first on the Fellowship stage.
Thank you.
good afternoon. How are we all? Good. Thank you so much for obviously coming to see Redken this afternoon. We have the amazing Voodoo artistic team here to showcase all of their incredible looks and trends for coming into Spring Summer 2018. Here we have the amazing Megan and hair model Vicky. Say hi, everyone. Hi. Then we have our amazing Wes with his model Nicola. They're going to be talking about trends. Then we have our amazing Lewis and his model Abby. They're going to be talking about some of Redken's fantastic new launches that have just been launched this month. So I'm going to hand you over to Megan, who's going to be talking about hair colour.
Hi everybody, you okay? So this is Vicky, my gorgeous model. So we pre-lightened all her hair and we used all the City Beats range on her. So when I use a City Beats range, when I want to do a vivid or a pastel, I always use custom colours. So I like to intermix all the colours so they're all unique for the client. So on Vicky's, we've used the HDR in Redken on her root, and then you've done a colour melt technique and blended it into the violets, and underneath I have done some rainbow flashes. So I really wanted to make it.
Just turn Vicky
around,
of
course
just
you can.
So we can all have a little look, because obviously, so you can see the back of it. And as Megan's talking about using City Beats is Redken's semi-permanent colour. So it lasts up to 12 shampoos, and you can go as vivid as you want or as pastel as you want. And Megan is probably the City Beats queen. The colours that she does and the techniques that she does is absolutely brilliant.
Thanks,
yeah, she's a very good queen.
Yeah, she's amazing, isn't she? Some of the looks that she did, we actually did a competition last year in association with City Beats, and it was all done via Instagram, and the winner got to go to New York to spend 3 days in the Redken Exchange over there, and Megan was our winner, the whole of the UK, which is fab. So do you want to tell us a little bit about what you did when you were in New York?
Yeah, of course. So New York was amazing. So I went to the L'Oreal Academy in Fifth Avenue, and we just learned loads of different techniques. So we learned colour melting, we learned all about the new shades. We did a lot of City Beats work. We did a lot of fashion colours. It was more just about being like creative, like being yourself. Obviously, I love like a rainbow, I love vivid colours. So yeah, it was really good. It was really like we learnt a lot. So yeah, today on Vicky, I've just kind of tried to recreate one of the looks that I did in New York. Nice and vibrant, make it pop for her. Vicky loves to kind of stand out. She loves to be unique with her hair, so that's why we've got these kind of little flashes of rainbows underneath, like yellows with like a lot of contrast in there.
It looks absolutely lovely. I'm just seeing it
Thank
there
you.
on the TV. It does look really, really nice. So, with the kinds of work that you do in the salon, would you say this is the work that you mainly do in the salon, using like all the colour bleeding and the vibrant colours and things like that?
Yeah, so I do a lot of vivid work, fashion colours in the salon. My Instagram, I mainly promote a lot of like vibrant colours, vivids, fashion colours. So I get a lot of clients coming in, seeing my pictures on Instagram, and then kind of wanting to create that look for themselves. So no matter what I mean, it might be a pastel version, or yeah. So I do a lot of it. Yeah.
Brilliant. Do you all have social media for your own hair work that you? So obviously clients can follow and things like that. I think what Meg's done is such a good example of, you know, the work that she puts on. She's got over 2,000 followers on her Instagram page, and the clients that she gets in from far and wide all over the UK are always coming for looks like this, because that's how she sort of promoted herself online. So she really does get to have a good play with colour, which is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
So I'm then going to hand you over to the lovely Lewis and his model Abby, and they're going to be talking about Redken's new launches.
Yeah. So with Abby, I have used Redken's new product. Sorry. Can everyone hear me? Express Blonde, which was launched last month. It's the latest innovation, and that is a cream-based lightener. It's mixed 1 to 2 with 20 volume or 30 only. And this is to cut our commercial appointments down by half for this kind of lived-in, low-maintenance look. So all I've done with Abby, I've placed 15 foils around the face frame. She was previously a very grown-out ombre to around, I would say, here. Highlighted around the face frame, and I perfected the colour Melt with Shades EQ Gloss. And what I love to do when I'm creating this lived-in colour, I love to keep dimension around the crown here, whether it be a blonde, a brunette or a redhead. I think when the hair moves and when she's walking, whether it's styled straight or curly, to keep that dimension throughout here just creates a beautiful finish. So I've styled it straight as well, just so we can see that seamless colour blend, and the dimension and contrast from, you know, super dark to this neutral blonde.
Fabulous. So one thing we were talking about before as well is obviously the way we're colouring hair at the moment in the salons. It's all about the balayage and the ombres and things like that. And I'm sure we all are aware clients are sort of starting to like stretch their appointments slightly. So instead of clients coming in, say like every 8 weeks to 12 weeks to have the highlights topped up or the roots done, the feeling that they can leave it that little bit longer. And with the launch of Express Blonde within Redken, this is helping to get the clients back in between. So we know clients can wait for up to like 4 months until they'll next come in and just have their balayage or their ombre topped up. Using Express Blonde and talking about it to your clients in the salon there and then, telling them to come in every 12 weeks and literally just having up to 15 foils in the hair, as we can see with Abby's, where it literally just helps to lift the balayage or lift the ombre back up, so the clients are coming in more often.
And it's so quick as well.
And that's what's different about it. It's the first, latest innovation, is it's all about, there's no development time. So it's a lightener. Once you've mixed it, obviously we've got like a heat tool that you literally heat the foil up, and then instantly you're going to get up to 6 levels of lift, and that's what we've used for Abby's hair today. So for clients that don't have the time and clients that don't want to be sitting for ages in a salon, Express Blonde is where it comes in really well. Fab, thank you.
Claire.
So then we're going to move over here so we can see Wes has been really busy cutting his model's hair, Nicola. So a colour looks absolutely beautiful, really, really nice. So can you tell us a little bit about the colour?
What I've done here is I've just staggered this fringe a little bit just to bring out that softness there through the front. The colour palette we're taking inspiration from Pantone's colour of the year, which is ultraviolet. So we've got a deep aubergine sort of purple as our base colour, and then through the front we've got much softer, almost metallic violets, just to soften those harsh lines. What we've got through the front.
Looks beautiful, really, really nice. So with obviously the trend of 2018 being all about the Pantone colour, which is obviously what we can see here on Nicola's hair, how do you sort of bring that trend to life in the salon?
Well, I think working at Voodoo, our clients are just amazing. You know, we get so many students. It's like a creative playground. We get to create looks like this every single day. You know, especially Meg. She's like our rainbow queen.
Yeah.
You know, it's not often Meg will do like a full head of highlights. That's the work she does every single day because of her following on social media. You know, and that's how she promotes herself.
And I think we've actually got another model that we can bring out. I'd like to just welcome Emily onto stage. This is a model that obviously Megan's prepared as well, just to show you a different take on the on a kind of colouring techniques that she does.
Yeah, okay, so Emily's was more of a pastalised version, so I still wanted to create like a nice rainbow. We'll show you kind of a different technique. So obviously with Vicky's, we've gone more vivid and kind of a hidden panel with it. Emily's was a section on her middle parting, and I kind of just blended down using foils. Different City Beats colours into a pastalised lilac. So
Meg, it's amazing.
Thank you very much.
You knock it out the park every time.
Every day. Every day of the week. Can we get Emily just to do a bit of a twirl, if that's okay? We just turn around just so the audience can obviously see. Gorgeous.
Ultimate favourite.
So we've kind of done a side parting with it. We've styled it over so you can see a bit of the lilac, so it kind of shines underneath. So instead of not having the rainbow completely solid on the middle part, and we've kind of created a different look, so it kind of peeps through a little bit. Like creating shine lines a little bit.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. stunning, Meg.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Stunning.
So Emily's going to stay out as well, and she's going to have a little sort of move around just so you can all take some photographs. So Megan, have we finished here?
Yeah, we're all finished. Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say?
I think that's it really. I think obviously if you're doing a vivid colour or a fashion colour, I think just have a play about with it. You know, kind of be unique, customise your colours to your clients, so because everyone's obviously individual.
Brilliant. They look absolutely beautiful. So our models are going to stay on stage just for a minute if you want to obviously take any photos. Myself and the Voodoo Art team are going to be at the side of the stage with the models, so please come over and ask us any questions. If you want to know any information regarding Redken as well, we have our educator. Give us a little wave, Georgina. So any technical questions, go and speak to Georgina and she'll be able to answer any. And as I said, the Voodoo Artistic team will be at the side of the stage, so come over and ask them any questions. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Lewis Moore. I'm from Lewis Moore Salons. With me today I have Phil.
Hi guys.
And Harley.
Hi guys.
Who have also collaborated with us on our collection called Freedom. We're a group of salons from the Midlands of 3 salons, and we're here today to present you our Lux Freedom. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break into explaining some of the techniques that we've done to create some of these 4 looks. Phil is going to explain about the colour, and then Harley is going to explain about the concept. So if you explain about the concept, please, Harley.
Yeah, sure. Hi guys. So again, thank you for the fellowship for allowing us to be here today. So our concept, as Lewis said, is the kind of concept about freedom. I feel like in society at the moment, we have changed so much, and it's not just like with technology, politically, but it's how we view people and how we treat each other. You know, in the hairdressing industry, I feel like we've always been rather accepting of people, no matter their age, gender, sexuality. We've brought them in with open arms, but I feel like this has gone into society now. We can walk down the street with odd-coloured hair, like blurring the lines between gender, anything like that, and people are becoming so much more accepting of it. And to be honest, I think that's actually something quite beautiful, and that is what we've based our collection on today. So without any further ado, I'm going to hand you back over to Lewis, and we'll start talking about our first model.
Thanks, Harley. So the first model we've got here is Chloe, and with the haircut, what we wanted to create, because of the feeling of freedom, we wanted to create quite androgynous looks on the hair, but so keeping quite a masculine element, but still using female lines when we're cutting. So what I actually did with Chloe's hair, just turn my switch off, is I started off with a traditional sort of barbering, clippering technique, going down into quite a short fade. We worked through to the top area there and kept it quite square against the head as you would normally with traditional barbering techniques. But then we disconnected the whole of the top panel and left that longer. And so I then went through it and put lots of multi-textured sections into it, working across the head. So shorter textures on one side, slightly longer, slightly shorter at one section, slightly longer at the back, working back and forth towards the front of the hair until we were left with quite a long front and an overhang through there. Okay, I then dried it, and we just put a lot of texture in when we blow dried it. So Phil, if you'd just like to come and explain the colour, please.
Super, thanks Lewis. So with Chloe, what I decided to do is kind of complement Lewis's cutting technique. So because we interlock the section with the personalisation of texture, I broke through with a little bit of colour and pre-lightened through here using a slightly obscure triangle section. Then what I did through the back after we'd pre-lightened is then went through with Joico Lumishine of a base 3 just to literally flatten that colour out and then strengthen up this undercut and fade that Lewis has done. On my pre-lighting section I used Jade and Peacock Green just to really intensify and use the intensities range in Joico, just so we've got that over vibrant, strong block colour application. Thanks Lewis, I'm going to hand you back to Harley.
Hi guys, so I'm going to start explaining the styling elements between our next model, Rachel. So overall we kind of wanted to create this halo technique with sort of really tight cloud-like curls. And you know, I'm all for going forward with hairdressing, come up with new ideas, but I think it's really important sometimes to look at the past and look at techniques that we might not have even really thought about for a while. And I'm sure you can all remember the 80s spiral perm. You know, it's one of the most iconic look of the 80s. So, you know, we actually set all of this with perming rods. So very, very, very fine, in a lot tighter at the back. And then if you just pop your head forward for me, to keep it kind of like straighter on the top to create this halo effect, we did like a stack wind, so it was closer in the middle and then going longer and longer and longer with the sections on top, which I think is really effective. And after we set it kind of overnight as well, so we get the maximum impact of these curls. And when we took out the perm rods, of course it was very, very tight, but we used a soft brush just to pull out all the different sections, section by section, really, really fine. And as I say, it just creates this really dreamlike ethereal effect, which I think is actually pretty cool, to be honest with you. So I'm going to hand you back to Phil, and he's going to go over the colour for you.
Cheers, thanks Harley. So with Chloe, what we did here today, because we knew knew we were using such a strong styling technique, I had to then go in with a strong colour application of Joico Intensities. So I worked radially around the head in big shard sections, but using really soft colours. So I've got muted pastels in blues, purples and mauves mainly, just to really break that up and really over-enhance this styling. So if you were to kind of look at it from different dimensions, you get different depths and different intensities of colour, still on a pastel platform. Thanks, Harley. I'm going to hand you back to Lewis.
Okay, so this is our third model. This is Anna. So again, we still wanted to keep along the lines of, you know, the androgyny feel with this. So again, what we've done is created quite, just turn around, sweetie, quite a strong outline through there, quite slightly art lines, but keeping strong outlines, still keeping quite a flat square shape through the sides there, and then keeping an overhang through the whole of this sort of back section here and to the sides, and then just very, very heavily textured that front and top area out, and then just styled it by kind of creating a lot of texture in there. So you're going to talk about the colour now, Phil.
Thanks, Lewis. So with Anna, what I decided to do today, knowing that we were keeping it strong again, I went in through the undercut with amber and moonstone, just to really get that deep, vivid purple colour. And then in a herringbone section to kind of almost mirror the way that the tweed is cut on the suit, I then went in and crisscrossed the colour in a freehand technique, using big block sections of blue, green and jade and peacock, just so we really got that movement with the colour but still keeping the strength through it today with Joico Intensities. Thanks, Lewis. I'm going to hand you back to Harley.
Thank you, guys. So this is our next long-haired model, Natalia. So with both of our long-haired models today, I really wanted to kind of go big or go home, because at the end of the day, the concept is freedom. Why not go big and bold? So Natalia's hair is actually quite long anyway, but we just wanted to really, really accentuate that. So if you just turn to the side for me, we started off by prepping the hair and we crimped every single last inch of it. It was very, very interesting to say the least, but this creates this really rough texture going through the hair, and it makes it really easy to work with, especially with a style like this. So we left her fringe out and made ponytails going sort of like this, where all of these individual buns are. And then what we did was kind of make them more quiffed going through, but we actually added more synthetic hair. But we in fact used, you know, the synthetic hair that you use for like weaves, where you make the tracks a bit bigger. We use those. It's a nightmare to work with. You get covered in hair, but you know what? It's so effective for getting really, really nice texture within the hair. And it also kind of boosts everything up, and that combined with the crimping of the hair for prep, it's really, really effective. And obviously we added for length too, going all the way down the back, but then making the sections from bigger to smaller again, just to get that real nice rounded shape here. And then for her fringe, we decided to keep it really simple, nice and smooth, slightly beveled, really shiny, and then these bits down the sides just to really frame her face and give it that nice pointed feel towards the face, really contouring. So yeah, I just think that this is really, really big and bold, and we've really loved this one, haven't we? So yeah, again, I'll hand you back over to Phil. He'll go over the colour with you.
Thanks, Harley. So going off that big and bold factor, knowing that the hair was going to be dressed up today, what I did is 2 different global applications of colour. So I started with Vero K-Pack through the underneath on the darker depths, and then just literally pre-light the ends, just so I'd got 2 very contrasting colours. A very strong dip dye line has been put into this hair once this hair is down, knowing that we were going from dark straight into light. And then just to really over-intensify the luminosity, I just went over in a clear gloss, just because, so we got a great shine on this show hair today. So thanks, Harley. I'm going to pass you back over to Lewis.
Okay, so I hope you like the 4 looks that we've presented to you this afternoon. We're certainly very impressed, and we love what we've done. We've had a great time here at Pro Hair Live. I would like to say thank you to the Fellowship for giving us the opportunity to be here for the last 2 days. It's been an amazing experience for myself and for the team, but also for the team that we've worked backstage with us. So thank you to the makeup artists, and obviously for Jackie for dressing them and helping us, and letting us use her salon to prep it yesterday. But overall, I hope you've enjoyed Pro Hair, and I'm sure you'll see a lot of great hair this afternoon. So my name's Lewis Moore. I'd like to wish you a good afternoon, and we'll show you all the models again.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot.